Hey, all happy Monday. I hope you have a fantastic week. We have a great show to start off your week. We are going to be doing a new Riff Distillery review. And I have to say, for me personally, New Riff is truly one of my favorite distilleries. However,
I got really high up on the voice
you did.
level there.
That was good. That means you're excited.
I am excited.
That's it. Yeah, because and that's why I was just going to say. However, Trenton takes it to a whole nother level. I thought I was a fan until we started preparing to do this show.
I didn't realize that we hadn't done a New Riff show before, and I'm a huge New Riff fan. Is the HDMI cable getting in front of the lens? No, we're good. I didn't realize that we had never done a New Riff show, and I was kind of surprised because we had talked about things. I think the Balboa rye. Am I pointing to the right one? I don't know which one's the Balboa rye. Was the first single bottle review that you did over there on the couch.
Over there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
I had just assumed that we had done one, and we just got back from a little meetup in Ohio, so we were kind of figuring out what we were going to film for today, and New Riff was like a no-brainer. So, and I have a few New Riff bottles here. There's 7 up here, but I think I have a total of 18 at home.
You have no idea what's going on over there.
I'll get some like B-roll or some sort, not shuffling 18 bottles.
Yeah, no, you'll see it. You'll see it in the video somewhere. But we've been there a couple of times for barrel picks, guys, and we've had a fantastic time. Wonderful people there doing wonderful things with bourbon and whiskey and rye whiskey and even an American single malt that came out as well. So we're going to try to focus our efforts today on more of their core type releases. Bottles that we felt at least could be found more than not.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing I love about New Riff, they're all a good price. They're usually like, I don't think I've paid more than $90 for a bottle of New Riff. And those are just recently with their 8 years, which we'll kind of get into. I like they experiment with a lot of different stuff. It's their own distillate, and it's a really neat distillery. So what do we got there on the right?
Well, let me slide you your glass, pal. Okay. We're going to start here with just their regular Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's 100 proof.
Bottled and bond, yeah?
I don't know if it's bottled and bond or not. I don't think.
Yeah, bottled and bond without chill filtration.
My bad then. Okay, very good.
I think just about everything that New Riff does is bottled and bond. That isn't a cask strength situation. Yeah, this one bottled, but yeah.
Wonderful.
That's cool. I like that.
Very, very much so.
They're located in Newport, Kentucky. Yeah. Really cool area. Right. We got some sushi in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, we had a great time there because it's right there close to Cincinnati as well. We always go to what is it called? The Party Store?
Party Source.
Great Party Source.
Party Source, yeah.
Great selection of all sorts of spirits in there. It was kind of fun to be in there for about an hour or so.
It smells delicious.
You can't go wrong with it. I think the majority of what I get for the most part off of New Riff bourbons is brown sugar.
Yeah, I could see that. This is, I think these are like $45. Maybe they're encroaching on a $50 price point with these, but this is a 4-year. It's bottled and bond.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not like that?
How do you not? Absolutely. For $45-50, how do you not?
I'm basically the David Jennings or the Rare Bird of New Riff.
You know what? I'm laughing just out of a gut reaction, but truth. You should really be like David and start a vlog, a New Riff vlog, like he has for Wild Turkey. You should.
Yeah, but David does a good job, and I would not do a good job.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, he obviously does. He's a professional.
That's really good. I like that.
We have a hard time being professional.
Yeah, we're never professional. This is really a good bourbon for everybody, I think. Good price point, good proof point. This is a very good beginner pour, or a very good pour if you're like a little bit more of an expert or a little bit more experienced is the word I'm looking for.
I 100% agree with him on everything he just said. It's excellent choice for everybody. Going to go to the rye, Trenton.
Oh my gosh.
Straight rye.
On a lot of New Riff's rye, it's very citrusy. And it's like orange, more of an orangey type of a thing.
It is. It's quite orangey. I almost get like a little lemonade. Not like a bright lemon zest or something like that, but like a lemonade.
Like the lemonade Sour Patch Kids, if you had those?
No.
Oh, they're good.
I have not.
Bin. Buy it now. Go do it.
Wow. You heard it here.
Quintessential. I gotta adjust my glasses because this is
even the palate It's nice and citrusy.
I get like a little bubble gum on this too.
Do you know?
Like yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I think New Riff is like kind of like my version of like quintessential with their bourbons and their ryes.
Okay.
It's hard to say that when it comes to something like some of the stuff we're getting into later, but their core offerings, forget about it.
Yeah.
I need to not drink. We're doing a lot.
I know we're doing a lot, so I'm trying to take little sips. But do you have a rough price point on that one?
I think it's 45 or 50
so
bucks.
It's roughly about the same for both. Okay. The both the
starters, entry level.
Yep.
Good price.
Thank you. Going to the single barrel bourbon trend. Single barrel bourbon.
I will say this about New Riff though. I've had some single barrels that are really good from New Riff, and I've had some, just like with any distillery for a single barrel, that are a little bit off-putting for my palate.
Okay.
When we did a barrel pick with them, we almost walked out with nothing.
The second time. First time we got one pretty quick. The second time we just had a hard time.
Yeah, it is what palates weren't jiving today. I don't know if it was the barrels, if it was us, combination of both.
However, she bent over backwards, pulled more barrels, did some research on our previous pick. Great people, honestly, great people. Corolla.
Yep. Yeah.
Trying to think of her name. Great representative of New Riff.
Dude, this has like some really, really good grapey vibes to it.
It does, and I haven't had as many single barrels as you've had, obviously. Only the couple I've had, I thought they were very good.
Single barrels usually run, I've seen them anywhere from 55 to 65. And that's at cask strength. Sorry, were you going to look at the label?
I was.
112.5 proof.
Okay.
Good proof point.
Yeah, I love it. I love that.
Yeah, that's solid. I like that. We don't have a single barrel rye, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I was bummed out. Yeah, we don't have that, unfortunately.
I don't know if I just don't have one anymore or if it got lost in the shuffle in the basement. It's entirely possible. Or if I lost it. I put it on a garbage can and now it's gone.
Or you drank it all, too.
That's true.
I personally have never had one, so that's one I'm going to add to my list for down here in the basement. So, for sure, single barrel rye, but apologies there. We don't have that to try here today. But I'm sure it's fantastic. We're going to move now into the rye whiskeys, some of their other rye whiskey categories here. So speaking of rye, I would have to think the single barrel rye is marvelous as well because they do phenomenal things with rye grain. Yeah. No question about it.
Now we're getting into some of my favorites from New Riff. And these are, I believe, some sort of shelf stable. I was talking to Harry. He said these are on open inventory so he can buy them whenever he wishes. Okay. I have 4 of the Balboa ryes in my basement and 3 of the Malteds.
Wow.
Unopened. Because I wasn't sure because it's a 6-year and because it's like a different. When this first came out, I thought this might have been an allocated thing or limited. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy as many as I can.
I see.
I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I've tried a few different malted ryes from other distilleries, and I really get into that. Yeah, I love that malted effect that it has on the rye whiskey.
And this is a 6-year. This is also bottled and bond, if I do recall. It is bottled and bond, 6-year malted rye, and this is about $65. Don't let the malted throw you off. This is one of the ones that I will recommend to people if they want something a little bit different.
Absolutely, and why wouldn't you? You get a little bit of that maltiness, not a lot though. It's not a lot. It's just a little bit. It rolls right into some of those fabulous rye characteristics.
It's, oh man. Ooh, wow. My throat's gargling or something. It's weird. It's super velvety. It's got this, I almost get like a green apple note in it. A little bit of a graininess to it. It's really dynamic.
It is. It is. It's pretty spectacular, honestly. One I haven't had coming up next in a long time. I have pulled the malted once in a while. I have not had this Balboa rye for a decent period of time, so I'm looking forward to getting into that a little bit more and tasting it here with you right now. It's been a while.
Have you had it since the review that you did? Have you?
I think so, but it's been very, very few times. Very few.
This is one that I have. I have a bookshelf type thing in my bedroom of bottles that I gravitate towards a little bit more. And these things are constantly rotating out. And I usually have the Balboa and the Malted and some other New Riff product in there. Right now I have 7 and I brought them all here. But it's just constantly evolving and revolving. Revolving?
Made with rare heirloom Balboa rye grain, exclusively grown for New Riff Distillery.
I really can't even describe that. This is a 4-year, also bottled and bond. I don't know if you said that. It's like lemon peel.
Yeah, what you got over here in the rye whiskey with the orange notes, you know, the real beautiful, round, juicy orange notes.
Yeah.
It kind of evolves with the Balboa rye into the same other lemon, being lemon forward.
It's almost like a lemon mint cake. Honestly, it's really good. I don't really have enough good things to say about that.
It's a specialty rye, okay? It's not going to be like anything else you'll pick up off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
It's a specialty product, and it's glorious. It's really good.
If you want to step outside your comfort zone, whether you're a big rye fan and you usually gravitate towards an MGP or maybe a non-finished, or not even a non-finished, but like New Riff is using a lot of different grains for their ryes. If you want to go outside the box or your comfort zone a little bit, these are ones that I always recommend to people just because I do think that they're pleasing to a lot of people. I will say for folks that despise malted anything, I usually say, hey, this is the Balboa. You can't go wrong with the Balboa, and then after that I'd go with the malted. It's a little bit more of like a specialty kind of a rye whiskey, but you can't go wrong with either of them.
Right. It's not too bitey either.
Yeah.
As sometimes you get with rye whiskeys,
Yeah.
you know, it'll give you that zip.
Yeah.
Not really like that.
And anywhere from $50 to $65 for either of these, which is really cool.
Can't beat that at all.
Now we're getting into the controversial one.
Here we go. This is one of Trenton's absolute favorites of all time.
I do say I love New Riff, but I was not a fan of the 8-year. I just wasn't. Maybe after it sat for a while. This is 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley. Aged for 8 years and bottled and bond as well, I think.
But the aromas, Trenton, just the aromas alone are so good. I mean, come on now.
I think
Get a little brownie note in there. I'm getting that brown sugar in there.
I got like a
little bit of walnut.
I'm getting like you opened the microwave after somebody just burnt some popcorn in it.
Oh my gosh. How?
I don't know, man.
How? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Huh. Well, to each his own.
This just came out. I believe this is going to be more of a standard offering from New Riff coming up. Just from what I've heard, I'm seeing it on the shelves in Total Wines and things. I'm getting pictures of both this and the 8-year rye. $79.99, I think. So New Riff is kind of on par with that $10 per year type of a thing. And since they're not going over, they actually just released a 10-year for a charity thing. And I completely forgot to enter in the raffle. So I missed out on that. So I'm missing that the 10-year, the 15-year, and one of the crystal malts and a backsetter. And then I have all of them. And I'm like, really? I got to catch all the New Riffs, man. I do.
He is the New Riff king. There's no question about that. All right, now the next one I am personally looking forward to. I have never even had a taste of because Trenton is very possessive of his New Riff bottles. So this is the 8-year rye. Honestly, I don't know anything about it. This is the first time I've actually even laid my eyes on this bottle. This is 100 proof, so it's 8 years. It's rye whiskey. I'll tell you what, this other rye whiskey down this end was really good. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out.
You already know what I'm going to say. I would love to see them do a cask strength 8-year. I would. If they're doing a cask strength single barrel, I'd love to see them do just an iteration of this at one point. If this is going to be more of a standard offering, just
I get
bump up that proof a bit.
I get it. Now, if they offered a single barrel program for the rye, are we going back for that?
I would. Yeah.
I bet we would.
Yeah, I would ride my bike there if that was a thing.
I bet you would. I think I'll ride your truck. That way, in case you need to have a problem.
Just tow me on the back.
I'll just pick you up.
Yeah. The 8-year, when I tried it initially, I was thinking that it rivaled a lot some of Willett's ryes, some of the MGP ryes that I really like a lot. So this really kind of inserted itself in like maybe my top 5 ryes. This will, without a doubt, but just based on what's coming out for the rest of the year, land in the top 5 ryes of the year, no question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
maybe top 3. I don't know.
I couldn't say at the moment. I know the aromas are are beautiful. They're similar to the rye down here, yet more complex, a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah.
That age is really helping out.
It's like the big brother, a little bit more experience. Like you said, a little more well-rounded. But I mean, man, ooh, we're getting off the screen here.
That is good, dude. That is good. The brightness of the one down here is kind of leveled down just a touch. But, man, that age just does wonders for that. It still has that bit of citrusy effect to it. But there's an added, like a light caramel note in there, too, or something going on. Something's going on with that.
I can't quite put my finger on it. I will say this one has gotten a lot better as it has kind of sat open. I think I've had this for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Thank you, Randall, for helping me score this one. These were some of the ones I believe you could have gotten them on. New Riff has like a whiskey program or a whiskey newsletter or something. It's free to join. If you're a part of it, you get the emails when they're like, hey, we're coming out with this type of a variety of a product or whatever. They had the 8 years on there.
Right.
And the 8-year rye landed the day before Father's Day, and I thought it was on Father's Day, so I set my alarm on my phone, and
missed.
I got the message from Randall. He's like, hey, were you able to get one? And I was like, no, I thought it's sold out. I thought it was tomorrow. But he came in clutch, and I don't know how he did it, but he found me one. Wow. And it was like $70, $70 or $80.
Got lucky, bud.
Yeah. So thank you, Randall, for that one.
Great stuff.
Yeah, man. I don't even know how to go about showing some of these.
Yeah, just maybe 1 or 2 your absolute favorites, and then I'm sure Trenton and Kyle will work it in some kind of a B-roll situation in the video for you to see some of his ultimate New Riff collection.
Yeah, and I mean they don't do these all the time.
I haven't had.
I have 3 of the high notes. They just came out with the new Old Riff. This is the rye. They came out with a new Old Riff. This is also the bourbon. They have a blue carriage, a yellow lemming. This is a sherry finish malted rye. There's the blue carriage. This is the yellow lemming one. And then they have these different high notes. That's a 4-year Balboa single barrel. This is a Bohemian Wheat 8-year bourbon, 117 proof. They got the winter whiskey, and they got the single malt. And then I also have an Arrowstook rye at home.
What does that mean?
It's just like another
heritage
kind of a grain thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's neat.
Okay.
Ooh, this is going to drive me nuts.
That's your game now, dude. I don't know what you got going up here now.
But New Riff has a lot of stuff out. I didn't realize how much they actually have out. I wish these were a little bit more accessible. But what I like about their whiskey program or their newsletter is that it's free for anybody to join. You can go to their website and do that and score some of these. You can order it online, but you have to go pick it up at the distillery. And they hold it for like 30 days, 60 days, something like that. But I haven't been disappointed with any of these. I have yet to open the new Old Riffs. I just got those yesterday. Thank you again to Randall and Lauren for helping me get those. And the blue claridge, yellow lemming, haven't opened those either. But none of these of, 18, 19, 20 different New Riffs, none of those were over $80.
That's impressive.
Which is what I love.
That's really impressive. And I certainly appreciate that from any distillery. New Riff setting a good standard there, and I love that about New Riff too.
Yeah.
In closing, Trenton, let's go back a little bit to our just touch here to our the ones that we reviewed that we tasted that are easily accessible or their core offerings to a certain extent. Which one is your favorite? That's tough for you, I know.
It's hard to say without having the single barrel rye up here, but I honestly think
that is true.
Any of the like the standard rye or the 8-year rye, I think would be my go-to. Yeah. They're just so good. It's a standard quintessential rye for me. It really, in my opinion, rivals some of the stuff that Willett at MGP is doing. Granted, the mash bill for the rye is 95.5, so MGP's mash bill. I'm 99% sure that New Riff distills all their ryes as well. But I could be wrong. If I'm incorrect, please let me know in the comments. But I don't know, man. Their ryes. Something special. Yeah,
it is. And for me, I'd have to say the single barrel bourbon is probably my favorite. This is something that may shock you, because now that I've been able to taste these products side by side, I would truly put some of that rye whiskey in front of the 8-year bourbon. I like the 8-year bourbon. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I personally would choose the single barrel bourbon over the 8-year bourbon. I know that's kind of shocking too.
Interesting.
Probably a little bit more of the proof and everything else going on in there too. I get all that. And that would probably be my favorite. But then from there, that malted rye, that's right up my alley, man.
Nuts.
That is right up my alley. I would probably put that right just above the 8-year bourbon for me.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. All right, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't have any, or if you have yet to come across a couple of these that we showed you from New Riff today, I think price points are very effective. They're very fair, and they're outstanding products. So give it a shot. All right, guys, as always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.